Right. Welcome back. Good morning, everyone. All right. Brad is here. Good morning, Brad. We'll give everyone a few minutes and then we'll jump right into looking at the analysis as well as overnight trading. Look at our session highs and lows and see what's still available and what might be targets over the next 1 to 2 hours. All right. Fuego's here. Good morning. Tommy. Hello. Hey, Vivian. Welcome. Good morning. I do not have a checklist. No, someone else also asked for that. I need to make one for everyone, but sorry, I don't have one at the moment. So, all right, Brad. Good day then. So far, so good. Oh, D. Anderson. Good morning. Hmm. Oh, dang. Sorry about that, Brad. Yes, that definitely has happened to me, and it's usually on that trying to get back in because you think it's going to continue, and you already found your TP. When you try to get back in, it's hard to find that sweet spot of entry where you don't have a lot of drawdown. And since you've already experienced profit, the drawdown scares you even more than before the trade that you won. So you end up getting out early, try to get back in, and you keep playing that game until you're down, and then you're trying to get back up. So yeah, it's a it's a dangerous game to play. That's why you always hear people talk about be happy with enough, and that's why it's because it's so hard to catch that same type of momentum on a trade a second time. All right, Jay. Good morning. Yeah, so let's go ahead and get going, and we'll take a look. We'll start here. Now let me get rid of these low impact folders. All right, so if we just look at medium and high impact folders, we did have unemployment claims this morning, where the results came in at 218,000 new claims versus a forecast of 221. So slightly less, but really not enough to move the needle. So the question really is, how is this really going to impact the dollar? It should impact. It should really shouldn't have a big impact because you would expect price to already be built in based on the forecast, and then if we see a reaction, it's because the forecast and actual were different. In this case, I wouldn't say there's a huge difference. You're talking about 3,000 out of 221, so it's less than 1% variance. So not a big deal. But let's go ahead and take a look at the dollar and let's see how that might impact the USD. Let's see. All right, let's get to a higher time frame. Let's first go to the daily. All right, so this was that level that we saw it trade on twice. We saw yesterday trade lower, below this fair value gap into the one below it. Sorry, there we go. Okay, but now so far today, we've seen a rebound in price as it's already reclaimed yesterday's range, majority of the days before range, and we'll just see if it wants to also retest this higher level again, or if it's really after this bearish fair value gap for a push downwards. But I will say I'm a little surprised at this bullish momentum today for the dollar. So we need to pay extra close attention to this one and see if maybe we need to look for lower prices on the equity market. You know what, before I leave, let's go down to the 1 hour. Okay, so we have a new day opening gap, which could hold price, but it looks like that might be the last line of defense before it goes and retests that high from a couple days ago. And breaking through the high from a couple days ago actually gives it new highs. So, so yeah, we definitely need to watch that one. Yep. Okay. Yep. So I'll just keep my eye on the dollar. You guys do the same as well. We do want to see, if we're looking for higher equity prices, we want to see the dollar pushing down. But so far, it looks like the dollar is looking for higher prices. So I wouldn't be searching for higher equity prices unless there's a reason to, unless we get a strong signal that says we're going to push higher. Okay. Yes. Still going for its all-time high at 50.28. We got as high as 50.20 yesterday. Now it's starting to pull back into the range. It looks like it's creating a fair value gap here. So it depends on how deep the retracement is how large this fair value gap will be. It might come as far down here as 49.98. It could come down 49.98 and find some support and then look for this 50.28 mark. But if not, we could see a deeper retracement all the way through this this area here down to the new week opening gap. Let's go to the 4 hour. And so it's already traded in here into this fair value gap. So we'll figure out where it finds support. Yep, 49.97 is the area I think I just mentioned when we were on the daily. Yep. All right, so I'm looking at the midnight open. Thinking that maybe we'll get a trade to the midnight open, down to the gap, and then back up. But again, we're not going to really predict price. We're just going to wait and see what it gives us. On these higher time frame, price is still very bullish. So that's not really a concern. It's really that the dollar is moving in the same direction, which is the biggest concern of all, is that the dollar will not sell. It's just, for whatever reason, just not looking to do that right now. All right, let's move on to NQ. Let's try to hurry up before the opening bell. All right, NQ we know has reached its all-time high last week, and we had another all-time high put in yesterday, pushing through the previous levels. So it wouldn't be surprising if we do see some retracement today. We have a small fair value gap here that's been created on the morning retracement so far. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's going to hold or not, or if it's going to trade all the way through. So there isn't a fair value gap, because if we look at 50% of this candle body, yeah, it's below where this fair value gap would be created. So it would not surprise me if we trade lower into this range around 17,750 before finding support and looking for higher prices. And that'll probably also support the dollar moving higher at this moment. The dollar usually has a very, very low range in the afternoon. So depending on what the equities want to do, the afternoon might be the time for it to make its movement. 4 hour. Okay, it's deep inside of a fair value gap now, pushing out of it actually. So it came all the way down and now it's near the upper extremity of it. We have all the relative equal highs here for price to trade up to. And on the hourly, all right, let's keep an eye on this midnight open, 17,850. 17,850. Okay. 17,779. All right, so for now, it looks like I'm price neutral. I'm just gonna wait and see how see how things develop early on. It's good to see the dollar selling off now. It was looking a bit strong at first, which was scaring me with the equities, the equity market. But if the dollar continues to push down and we get a trade below the 830, that'll make me feel a whole lot better as far as the way the equity markets look, because equity markets are looking bullish on the higher time frames. However, like as I mentioned, the dollar was also looking very bullish from all the way down here, all the way up. So what we want to see is we want to see it sell below the 830 and break structure. So that'll end the recap this morning. Let me go back over to NQ, put back the session highs and lows. And I took a peek at this morning. I think the only thing that's still available is the London high. Yep. Asia high and low traded to, London low traded to, but the London high was created here at 2 a.m. It sold off and has not been traded to yet. So the London high, remember I just said let's pay attention to the midnight open at 17,850. The London high is just above it. And in 30 minutes, we'll have the New York high and low, which at the moment looks like, oh, okay. So it looks like we're making the New York high now, and the low is going to be down here where there was a retest of the previous all-time high from 2 weeks ago. Retested it once again down at 793, and now we're showing bullish momentum out of it. All right, guys, we got the opening bell coming in just 1 minute, so I'll stop and let's see what's going on in the chat. Hey, Sniper. Good morning, Chuck, Khaled, Ganus. Okay. All right. Excellent. Let's see how far this retraces back down. Yeah, disregard that buy stop. This doesn't, it's still left over from trading yesterday for whatever reason. It hasn't disappeared yet, but it doesn't have any value there. See if we get a retracement back down. It looks like that may not happen. We may not get that retracement back down, but it's fine. Um, we just set up a limit order and let price do what it does. So, okay, there were actually 3 entries over here. So if I don't get in, then it just means I missed it. All right, so that TP would have hit. So there's no limit order any longer. Oh, Sniper, you got to break even on that trade? Oh, man. Sorry about that. Wow. All right, let's let everything settle down for a bit, and then we'll come in and try to find another one. Right on, Brad. You're right about that. Judging by the week I've had, break even trade would be excellent. Hey, RVJ, good morning. All right, so we're right at that midnight open. I want to see how price reacts here. It's good to see the dollar is still selling so far. It's now sold back down to the 104.263 level, that first key level that it reached the other day. So it's been trading in between those two levels. It's now trading down to the first level. All right, let's take a peek at the four together, dollar and three indices. All right, so we see that NQ is the only one to trade into a fair value gap. S&P didn't get far enough down, and the Dow really didn't have a fair value gap to trade into. It had this slight little sliver here, but that was just created the last hour, and so far has not traded down there. But this is what I was talking about, the dollar. This is big bearish candle here. It's traded back all the way down to this level. So it's in between these two right now. We want to see it break below and trade below. Otherwise, the bullish rally may be short-lived. Yeah, you're right. Market conditions are tough for sure. Let's go back to the calendar, just see what we have for the rest of today. Okay, so we have a FOMC member coming at 12, and then we have the bond auction at 1. So very similar to yesterday, where during lunch hour, there was an FOMC member speaking. In fact, the same person. And then the bond auction at 1 o'clock. Yesterday was the 10-year bond. Today is the 30-year bond. I'm sure that's going to have some impact to dollars. So this afternoon, we may see some hopefully better price action than we saw yesterday, where it's not just ranging all afternoon. but a lot of that may have to do with in the morning. So yesterday we saw the big range reaching for all-time highs, which made it easy to consolidate in the afternoon. So it depends on what this morning brings us. A minute, that's not what I was trying to do. Oh well, whatever. See if we can get a bounce back up. No, it's probably a low probability, but we'll give it a shot anyway. Ah, what happened? Was I too slow in placing my stop? Okay, I was. It didn't reset. All right, now that I'm still in the trade, let's see what happens. Now that it's hitting the 50% mark. All right, let's see if we can't push from here. Oh, equal lows and ES. Okay, got it. All right, well, I have this one set to at least pay my fees and maybe put $5 into the account. So let's see what happens. Sure, there's no slippage or anything. Yeah, it's not looking good for bulls. Immediate rebalance right there. Yeah, you're right. On the hourly, equal lows on the S. Be back. Let me just go and refill my coffee. I'll be right back, everyone. Like so far, I've survived. Yeah, guys. So it's something new that I'm trying. I've been trying. I've been doing it in practice, and it's been looking promising. Has anyone ever done this before, where you're in a trade from, like you see, I enter down here, but there's a fair value gap here. I didn't enter a new trade, but I just looked to see what the parameters would be and just adjust my stop loss for the new trade as if I took it there. Anyone else ever tried that strategy to um, have a method to extending your runner? And then likewise, you can move your stop. You're saying if I was in this trade here, this would be my stop loss. So you can adjust your stop that way. There you go. In this case, a 1 to 2 would be within this range, so I don't update anything. Oh, sorry. Actually, I should. I should probably update my stop loss. Actually, the stop would be here. So I can adjust my stop. Okay. All right, so now I'm about 250 in profit with the stop loss. Thanks, Brad. Thanks, Brad. Yeah, I just took the retracement into the breaker. All right, we're in the middle now of macro period. So let's see if we run these highs up to this 850 level that I have marked up. Okay. All right, Brad. No worries. It's still early. We'll try to catch another one later. You know what? I don't like how price action is moving now, and with the week I've had, 500's enough. Well, we'll look for another setup soon. All right, get ready. Let's see where we are. Let's go back to the 5-minute. Always happens that way. Right when I close, it's ready to run. It's all right. All right, in just 3 more minutes, we'll have our New York values on the graph for us. So we're pushing high now. Looks like we're going to take the New York high. That's generally what happens right at 10 o'clock when it announces the New York high and then the New York low. The New York low is right down here. Whichever one we're close to, that's usually the next candle. Should have probably kept that in mind before I ended my trade, but it's fine. Oh man, I forgot. You guys can't see my face. Sorry about that. Hmm. So I was in a trade the entire time and you guys couldn't see the agony that I was in. Right, here we go. 30 seconds. We'll have a New York high posted. Right, it says 852.5. So let me get rid of it. See, told you. You see how it happened? It ran right up to it, stopped a point or a couple ticks below, right when 10 o'clock hit, New York highs posted, and then it took it. And now we got the New York low down here. So now the only thing available is the London high and the New York low. So let's see where price moves next. If it goes for the London high, then maybe we'll be looking for higher prices. If it shoots down for the New York low, then this London high will likely stay open. Oh, D. Anderson, you held. Okay, good job. Way to go. Yeah, Sniper, you're right. We do have a lot less viewers than usual. Normally by now we're up in the 65, 70 range, something similar to that. I don't know if it's Thursday. It could be that it's Thursday. I do know there's sort of a tail off towards the end of the week. So I think everyone's super excited about trading on Monday, Tuesday. And by the time you get to Thursday, people have either not had a good week or have been disappointed with price action so far in the week, or I'm not sure, but it seems like there's a lot of energy early in the week. And it could just be FOMO because Saturday and Sunday people are missing it. And so Monday, Tuesday, they jump on it. But yeah, I'm not sure why. Not sure why we don't have as many viewers as we were getting. Even the growth is slowed down considerably. So maybe we just need a couple more weeks for YouTube to recalculate their algorithm and start to promote us again. All right, so we did finish out that candle. Okay, so it's pushing for a London high, it looks like. So potentially we'll leave the New York low open, which could give us higher prices throughout the day. Before we get too deep into this, let's just see how the last hour finished on all the candles. Okay, so we saw the Dow. Dow had a bearish candle, big wick on the top, so it reached out for, looks like, daily highs. So it made a daily high and then retraced back down. We didn't quite get the high on S&P, but S&P is still pushing now, so it has an opportunity to continue pushing and getting there. And the same with Nasdaq. Nasdaq didn't take the high either, but it's still seeking higher prices now, so we have an opportunity. But let's see, did we have S&T this morning? We did. Okay, so this morning, this is what we had. What's this? It's 6 o'clock. All right, so the only one to make a lower low was Nasdaq at 8 o'clock. Went through, made a lower low when the news was announced, then started pushing higher. The rest just immediately started pushing higher without that lower low. So we probably could have recognized that as well and saw that there was going to be some bullish action coming. And it came. So it delivered what we thought it would. Now we're just looking to see how far will Nasdaq go. Again, 2 weeks ago, it made an all-time high. Yesterday, it broke that high. And so are we looking for a new high today, or are we just going to trade in the range? Let's get back over. Quadruple highs here. Yeah, let's see if we can't get YouTube to start sending some people our way. Let's go ahead and hit the like button and see if those likes get YouTube to start promoting us. Oh, okay. All right, Sniper. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone, for hitting the like button. Let's see if that works. All right, looks like that London high is about to be taken. Okay, PDH is our all-time high, previous day high. In fact, since we have very few untapped session highs, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of them and just leave the ones that we have. It's on the 1 minute, not a single fair value gap. I don't even know what to say about it. That happens so infrequently. Does that mean we're not going to retrace because there's no reason to? Does that mean we're going to make a full retracement because there's nothing to stop it? See if we sell from here at the midnight. I think it's still the midnight. Yep, the midnight open. See if we're selling from midnight. We did definitely reject it here. Not to mention we had a swing low here, so we had to break a structure. See how this candle reacts to the midnight open. Does it push through or reject as well? Okay, right now we have S&P is the only indice selling. Hey, Gavin, good morning. Tough conditions right now. Sorry, I was looking. Somebody once said that price trades from breaker to breaker. Says like if it keeps stopping here at the midnight open, there must be a breaker there. So I went looking for it. Mm-mm. All right, look like it's coming back around the origin of this trade idea. It's not. I'm not in this trade, just so you know. I'm definitely not in this trade. And we had a sweep of equal lows right here. Well, actually, no, we have equal triple lows now. So we had equal lows and went down and matched it. And let's see how far it trades up before coming back to get this. We're no longer in a macro, so I'm gonna go up to a higher time frame here. All right, back up to the midnight open. Also the bearish breaker that's ahead. Okay, let's go back to the 3 minute. closure of the candle is important here, mainly because previous attempts have always closed back inside the breaker. So a close outside of the breaker would represent changing of conditions. Okay, so we did close back inside of the range, inside of the breaker. But we're starting the next candle off with some bullish momentum. And so we need to see how far this thing pushes upwards and whether it takes out that high. Maybe it'll sweep that high and then come down and sweep these lows. We're getting a big charge from the dollar this hour so far. Finally enough, Nasdaq and S&P are also bullish this hour so far, while the Dow is bearish. So at the moment, conditions doesn't seem to be ripe for trading. Let's check back in around 5 to 10 minutes. Let's see where we are as we approach 10:30. 10:30. A lot of times, you'll see a pivot in price, or if price is sort of in consolidation, you'll see it breaking through. So we're going to look at right around 10:30 and look and see if price is doing something different. So we'll be comparing the dollar against the three different indices. This trade idea definitely would not have worked just on the breaker alone. Oof. I think we had a close just above. Mistaken. All right, we'll call it right on the line. It opened up above, but it closed right on the line. Anywho, I'll go ahead and delete this breaker. It's not as being invalid at the moment. We'll just see what price wants to do again. Now we'll check back in under a little under 10 minutes now, and we'll see where it is. 875. Yeah, I think you're right, Brad. Kendrick, good morning. Anybody still in the long from down here at 8:15 level from right when we got started this morning. Cool, calm, collected. Good morning. Welcome. Yeah. Oh, Deanna, I'm sorry. I didn't see your comment there. You're right. Yeah, it's just not worth it when they're not trading in tandem. When they're in tandem, it's amazing how smooth price is and how it moves from one PD array to whatever the target is, the opposite direction of pool of liquidity. And without that, you get this. So it may still get there, but it gets there like this, which is not fun. So make me bring my breaker back. It just got rid of it and said it doesn't matter anymore. And look, handle bodies respected it. The wicks didn't. Jeez, 11 point wick, 44 point or 44 tick wick. That's crazy. On the 3 minutes, not even like I'm on the 15. All right, cash in 860. All right. From 7. Oh, wow. Okay, McTony's. From 7:30. Oh, I'm assuming you meant from 8:30. Because if you get in from 7:30, I don't even know when you entered your trade. Yeah, you've been in a 24-hour trade. So I'm going to go ahead and assume you got in at 8:30, which was not a bad entry. You basically just took a market execution here, or either you took an entry right here on the retracement. Unless you're speaking CFDs, so maybe we're just looking at different charts. At least came all the way down here and hasn't taken the low yet. What's he waiting on? Mm, 618. All right, let's test that one out. 50% the way that I do my fib. But if you go extreme to extreme, yep. Yeah, let's not forget for everyone who was here yesterday, we have the regular trading hour gap from Wednesday. We only traded down to 718, which wasn't even 50% of the area. So we still have that if we start seeing lower prices. Is it waiting for 1030 to take this level? What's going on? All right, so now we have all three indices now showing bearish candles for the hour, and we're halfway through it. We're also showing dollar with a bullish candle. So things seem to be evening themselves out now, or we're getting back in sync a little bit. Let's see what that actually means for price action, though. Okay, it's 1030 now. Let's see if price loosens up a bit. We break out of this range. If we sweep these equal lows, something should happen very soon. Look at that. 1, 2, 3. Finally. Oh, man. If it trades all the way back to the breaker, and then how it reacts once it gets there. But let me also check some other time frames to see if there's a fair value gap closer. Okay, potentially here on the 4-minute. So it's already past 50%. It's in the fair value gap. So let's see if that's as far as it wants to go, or if it really does want to get down to the breaker, which represents the optimal trade entry. Oh, I forgot the 1-minute didn't have any fair value gaps. I forgot about that. So it looks like it's only a 3 and a 4-minute, and they're both in the same position right here at the 50%. So we'll wait and see if this holds. If it does not hold, then we'll move back to the 5-minute and we'll look for it to trade down to 816, which is where the breaker and fair value gap is. It looks like maybe it did find its footing there, right at the 50%, which also carried the fair value gap. Sweep of the low. Now let's see if it runs these highs as well as up to 875. In order to get there, we need to break through this fair value gap. We have here at 851 the midnight open. We have relative equal highs. I have a bearish breaker. So lots of obstacles it needs to break through, but it can definitely do so. It's already made its retracement to gain a little bit more momentum, also taking out some liquidity. So it's very possible that now is the time to make that high. All right. All right, Brad, did you take that long? I know you were looking at the pullback and you had your levels already marked up. Got a few micros. Okay, Key Miklo. Few micros at 830. Right. Okay. Sweet. All right. Well, you're already 25 points up. Yeah, just by looking at this at the 5 minute, this looks awful. Awful price action here. Sweeps a new high and then retraces 30 points, then sweeps a new high and then retraces 30 points. It's the same as consolidation, where you just trade from high to low. And in this case, instead of trading to the low, you'll just trade to 70 or 80% retracement. Oops. Let me just shift down a bit because I'm curious as to where we would have found. I wonder if that last retracement was the silver bullet. Because I think we only had a fair value gap on the 3 and the 4 minute, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, the 3 is still open. The 4 minute got closed out. This would have been the entry there. So slightly above this one. So again, it's, it takes out a high, does a deep retracement to get a 1 to 2 on this setup. It would barely sweep this high, and then we'd probably be looking at another retracement. So that's on the 4 minute. Let's see what the 3 minute would have looked like. Three-minute probably would have cashed out already. Yep, for sure. Just barely. Right here, just barely got out. But that would have been 27.5 points. Still waiting for this one to cash out or to reach TP at 34 points. And that's up at 866, which is really close to 875. So we'll close the 3 minute, the 4 minute still open. Okay, there was a 2 minute too. I didn't realize that. Sorry, 2 minutes brand new. This is the one. If you're just joining, most of us are not in entries so far. Price action just really hasn't delivered what we were looking for this morning. So it's just sit and wait for now. Wait for not only the indices to get in sync, but also for the dollar to show its position for the day. So far for this hour, we major sell off of the Dow. So you know what? While we're sitting here, let's take a peek because I think this is something we should see. The Dow right here. Major selling candle this hour. In fact, now we have the Dow making a lower low like we had with Nasdaq. S&P has not achieved that same target, although it looks like it's on its way. And we have Nasdaq, still playing back and forth, but hasn't really decided which direction it's going to go. Right, because it's still inside of this same zone, consolidation zone. It's been in since achieving the all-time high yesterday during the same hour. So it's been 24 hours. We've just been sitting in this same zone. Same with S&P and same with the Dow, even though it looks like the Dow now wants to break out of this range. Okay, Dow is almost at 61 retracement. Back, it hit exactly at the 61%. If you go wick to wick, let's see, where is it? Okay, wick to wick is in between 50 and 61. But either way, we know it's past 50% already. Get rid of that. Yep. See, but we got Nasdaq again already pushing higher. Not that it's really pushing higher, but it's just indecisive, so it's back and forth. Whereas the Dow has already made its position known that it's going lower and has done it. Let's get back over. Yep, D. Anderson, I think you're onto something there. At the very least, wait until the next hour, but potentially we could wait until the afternoon just because of how things are trading now. Hey, TJ, good morning. King Miklo, no problem, no problem. Glad to do it. Thanks for showing up every day. All right, John, welcome from Poland. Thanks for joining. I'm not sure anyone else has introduced themselves before and said they were from Poland, but good to have you, John. John, how long have you been trading? Oh, 3 years. Okay. All right. Same here, John. I just hitting 3 years, like right now, this week or next week. I can't remember exactly the date, but I know it was sometime early to mid February of 2021. All right. Looks like that silver bullet from the 4 minute is also going to work out and deliver TP, I think. Well, it's within 3 points, so it's not quite there yet, but it looks promising. Get rid of this thing. And we're getting close to the macro, so this next 10 minutes I'll probably run it through here. We just go down to a lower time frame so we can see a bit more. Oops. Nice one, TJ. All right, so there it is. So the 4 minute delivered to. I don't know if anyone took either one of those 3 or 4 minute fair value gaps as a silver bullet, but if you did, congratulations. Both delivered 1 to 2 trades. And like we said, that all-time high, 875, is right within range, and there it is. It's only a point away from the high it just made. If we go back over, all right, so look at the Nasdaq, and then look at the Dow. They're doing completely the opposite thing now. And then S&P is still sitting in the center, just kind of playing neutral, not really doing anything. But we have the dollar still pushing higher. Okay. All right, all new all-time high. Yep. Anyone looking for lunchtime trades today, don't forget FOMC member is speaking at 12. And then at 1 o'clock, there's a 30-year bond announcement coming out. Mm. Mm. Did anyone catch this entry around 840, 835, something like that? 17,840? And would have entered in the last 15 minutes or so. Anybody in the long, they entered in the last 15 minutes. $871. Okay. Now I'm looking for something more in the 840s range. 830s, somewhere between 834 and 844. Oh, laughter. Good morning. Good morning. Haven't seen you in the chat this morning, so I just want to say hello. Right. 889. Will we reach 18,000 today? Or 817.9 first? Will we reach 17.9? Okay, no worries. Yep, it sure is. Yes, it's still in the range. It's moving to the upper, I guess, the quarter of the range, but yeah, it's still in the range. Well, since we have one more hour of trading, I owe it to myself to have one more cup of coffee. So everyone just give me a couple minutes to go and get that. While I'm gone to get the cup of coffee, if you can, if you have not so far, hit the like button, please. Let's make sure that YouTube understands that the people in this room are enjoying the content and they should promote us for additional viewers. And so I'll be back in just a few moments, but go ahead and hit the like button if you haven't so far. Thank you. Hey, we're back. Let's see what price has done since I was gone. Okay, looks like it's made equal highs, but that's about it. Oh, 839. Sorry about that, Gavin. Hmm. All right, let's see if we get a sweep of these equal lows now. All right, we did get a sweep of those lows. So these relative equal lows here just now pushed past. And now we just created another set of equal lows. I'm looking at the Dow. It looks like the Dow. I know we were talking last hour about how bearish the Dow was looking, and now even this hour, we have the hourly candle in the first 3 minutes pushing lower than the last hourly candle on the Dow, pushing for equal lows that it has down at 38,659. So if anyone's a Dow trader, look out for 38,659. All right, I can remove these equal lows have now been swept as well. Back down testing the previous all-time high or previous day high, however you want to look at it. All right, King Miklo, good job. Way to go. Good morning. Hey, Shark Trend. Good morning. Let's see if we'll test that previous day high one more time and see how it responds, whether we get a bullish push out of it or whether it breaks down even further. We have a fair value gap that it can find support in, so that might be where it trades to. Right, test number 2. Looking to see if there was a fair value gap it traded out of. Okay. There it is, but you had to go all the way to the 15-second to find it. I'll leave it here for just a few moments for anyone who doesn't have the premium membership to TradingView and can't regularly see the 15-second chart. We'll just take a peek at it now just to see how quickly it moves, but also how it's trading out of the levels. All right, let's see if it takes out these lows now at 872. Great, so macro period's now done. All right, let's see where we are now. Okay, looks like we have bearish candles from the three indices, all relative similar size. We have not seen the dollar turn around and start buying yet, although it looks like it wants to find some support in that level that it's at now. Yeah, gotta admit though, the dollar doesn't look extremely bullish. It looks like anywhere in here we can find some sort of resistance and then push down. Let's not forget, we do have an FOMC member speaking in 50 minutes. And in about an hour after that, the 30-year bond yields will be announced. Get back in, pop that back up. REI, yeah, I have other time frames I'm looking at that you guys aren't seeing. Just because with OBS I can only show one screen, but yeah, I have 4 monitors in total. Uh, I don't know. Let's see. Let's see what he's going to talk about. He also spoke yesterday at 12:30. He's speaking at 12:05 today. It says due to speak at the Economic Club of New York. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah, it doesn't really say exactly what it is, but it was the same yesterday. I think it was the same Economic Club of New York. Oh no, he spoke at the Regional Economy at the Economic Club of DC. So now he's going to New York to do something similar with another group of, I don't know, probably market makers. What did he do this morning? Oh, he's on Bloomberg TV this morning. So if anyone caught that, he was on there at 8:30. Let's see. All right, it looks like the yield has been dropping ever since putting in a high in October. Since then, it's just been dropping. And they don't have a forecast. So we'll see what today brings. Okay, so we've taken over a few highs. I just think about the 15-second. If you step away for a few minutes, you come back and there's 12 new candles. On the retracement, we've made it to 71%. So we'll see if it finds support and keeps building, or if we'll then crash below these all-time highs. Well, yesterday's previous day high, as well as the previous all-time high that we've broken this morning. So now the all-time high is 892, 892 and a half. You get back up to a higher time frame. It looked like we just gapped up. So if we don't make a down wick, we're going to have a gap here. Owl just won't quit. It's extremely weak this hour. $8.72. Yeah, it looks like McTony's. Who else said it was a fair value gap on the 5 minute? Oh, just before Brad. Yep. So these fair value gaps is the same space. Looks like on the 5 and the 15, it's the same. I think the 5 is extended a little further, but it's for the most part the same. Mm. So retest of the fair value gap at the range high. So that would be here. And then you'd be looking for higher prices from there, right? Be a low risk long here. All right, retest of yesterday's high. Yep. Mm-mm-mm. Six. What'd you say? 680. The 680. 680s. Oh, okay, I got it. Yep. So you saying back down? Yeah. Jeez. So that was back when we had the all-time high down right around 700 from a couple weeks ago. But you're right, it never came back down to retest that level or that those values of trading. It looks like potentially those values could be balanced, so it doesn't need to return down. But I've definitely been wrong before looking at price and looking at when it's balanced and when it doesn't need to return, and it does it anyway. Oh man, I thought that was a low risk long. I was like, man, should probably take that. Good. I saw that though. That gives me a little confidence next time I see it. Yep. Could be Gavin. Absolutely could be a turtle soup. Yeah, if you would have taken that long, you would have just been looking for sweeping a high here. Um, Gavin, back when you said it should return to the 680s, I was looking down at that level. That's also where the new week and new day opening gap, where we started the week at. So that might be an interesting level for price to return to. Because not only is it our previous all-time high from a couple weeks ago, but as I mentioned, it's the new week opening gap level. It's also a fair value gap on multiple high time frames, and it hasn't been traded back to yet. So you might be onto something there. Let's keep monitoring that level if we see price pushing lower as a potential target. TJ. Go to a lower time frame and see if there's anything there. Yeah, right now, TJ, you're not missing much. We'll reassess this afternoon and see how price is moving. All right, who called that turtle soup? Was that Gavin? All right. All right, Shark Trend, there it is. Taken out. 870. Okay. All right, Fauci, I hear I hear you, man. That's actually a good strategy for this morning. It hasn't done much for us. Or the price action has been real spotty. Kind of like what you get at 3 o'clock, where you might get some expansion, but then you'll get a deep retracement. Go back and measure this expansion leg again. 860 is 50. 852 is 61.8. And 846, 71%. Hmm. All right, we have about 30 minutes left in this morning session. So let's see what we get the last half hour. I think we just hit 50% on this retracement. We did. Let's get back up to the 5 minute. All right, see on the 5 minute, we've been reached 50%. We did that on the last candle. We even gotten really close to 61% if you take the Fibonacci from this 5 minute. Yeah, well, let's go from here. Mhm. Yep, good idea. Good idea. Oh, okay. No worry. Yeah, it looked really good. It did look good. And it was crazy because it was a level you called out. If I'm not mistaken, it was right in here somewhere. Or maybe it was this wick, this down wick. Oh, you took a long here? Okay. You just now entering a long now, Khalid, or you was in a long earlier over on this candle? Oh, oh, below 50. Okay. Sweet. It is back at the previous day high. Okay. Yep. Is is it because it gets you a slightly lower entry than you had originally placed because it's so fast that it gives you an entry lower than what you actually asked for? Is that what it is, Khalid? Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you have to have your limit order placed well before it gets there. Well, not well before, but at least a couple seconds before price runs down in that direction. Um, Good thing is, well, the bad thing is you also have to be aware of that same phenomenon when you have your stop loss. If it rips through like a news event or something where the first second of the candle it just runs for 20 or 30 points in 1 second, it's likely not going to close out your trade. And if it does, it's going to close it out several points away from where you wanted it. So if it's a stop loss, that means you're going to lose even more than you anticipated before. It can be beneficial, like in your case where it's an entry. But if it's an exit, you can have the same type of problems if it's going against you. But if it's an exit at a TP, then it'll close you out higher than you wanted. So you'll end up having more money. But for the most part, when you put in a limit order, price, does its normal movement. It moves at a normal speed and you generally get filled at the price that you wanted to get filled at. I haven't tried micros, so I haven't tried like a high volume of contracts. But I would imagine if you have more than like 5 contracts, maybe sometimes if price caps exactly on your entry value, maybe it'll only fill 3 of the contracts or maybe 4 or 5 contracts, but not all 8 or 10 or however many you put on. And in that case, you'll need price to return back down and tap it again. Or when it taps it the first time, it needs to hold and stay in that position for 3 or 4 seconds, and then it'll fill your whole lot size. All right, looks like we're now getting some viewers in here, which is good. So welcome back to all the subscribers. So anyone who's subscribed already, good to have you back in the channel. You guys are the lifeblood of this channel, which is why we consistently have a good amount of viewers here. But anyone who's brand new people, welcome to our live stream here. And if you haven't already, if you can jump in the chat and just say hello, let us know where you're coming from and how long you've been trading. We did have one gentleman earlier mention that he's from Poland, been trading for 3 years now. So let's see who else we have in the room. Any brand new people? Oh, 2 to 1. Awesome. That's amazing. Ooh, it's a terrible stop loss. I don't like this. It's too big. Let's find something better. This might be better. 3 minute. Anyone entering on the 3-minute fair value gap has now been in this trade for quite some time. It's been, wow, a little over a half hour already. Holy smokes. It's a crazy TP here. So let's try to find something smaller. All right. Let's see this one. Okay, much nicer. All right, KB, good to have you again. All right, Janusz, you're currently in Poland. Okay, so we have a couple Polish people here. Excellent. Yeah, you're right. It could be because it's showing that it's potentially going long, but it's not doing anything. So yeah, maybe worth just holding off for a bit and coming back in the afternoon. Again, there's a FOMC member speaking in 20 minutes. And then we have the bond auction results coming at 1 o'clock. TikTok, good trades this morning. I did take a trade this morning. That was a good trade. My best trade of the week so far. But it was over here on this retracement back down. So this is one of the few times that I've traded before 10 o'clock. But we had this retracement back down around 9:45, and I took an entry out of this breaker. I tried to catch it on this one when it was trading down, and it only got about 3 points away. And I'll be honest with you, I was tempted to hit the button to just get in the market execution. But I waited, and it came back around after delivering what I would have originally wanted as a TP, because this was the midnight open. but it came all the way back down. I got in and I got out. I think I got in around 8:15 and got out around 8:40 because I got like $500, I think, on one contract. Yeah, so I got out somewhere in this range around 8:40. But you can see it ran for another 20 points before doing a retracement and then ultimately taking on new all-time highs. But there were some other subscribers as well who took a similar long. Some were in before me. Some held longer than I did, so they ended up getting more profits. But that's been about the only thing that we had this morning. There was a silver bullet that I'm not sure anyone took, and that was here in this range. If actually, it might have been these candles. It might have been these candles here. Remember, it's on the 3 and on the 4 minute. Okay, so it was here, right around 10:30. Anyone who took silver bullet around 10:30 was able to get that to deliver a 1 to 2 if you took it off the 3 or the 4 minute. We highlighted those already as well. Oh, you're dual. Okay, US and Polish. Okay. Mm. As of right now, it's really hard to read just because of all this mess you have right here. I'm slightly bullish. I'm thinking that this level could be reached. I do realize there's news coming in 15 minutes though. So that's what's holding me back. Um, so not being in a position right now, I would definitely not get in a position. I would hold off until 1 o'clock once we get the bond reading as well as the FOMC guy to finish his speech. Let's get the news out of the way and then let's look for a setup this afternoon. So far, it's just not been favorable, at least since around 10:45 or so. So it's probably worth sitting on our hands for the next 15 minutes. But let's see if price can find some support here in the fair value gap and push to these highs. The entrance on 862, not the exit. Let's drop down and see what we got here. All right, so this is what an entrance on a 1 minute would look like. Still a new high. So if you believe in new highs, then you'd be looking for one of these longs. Otherwise, you let price settle or you take a short back down to the breaker, or at least to the midnight open before the breaker here at 850. Took a short at 875. Okay. Okay, so the previous day high. All right, so you're predicting a rejection from here back down. Okay. Okay, look like potentially that's what we got here on those 1 minute candles. Sorry, I think he said he took it here. All right, Gavin. Short from 875. If you put your stop above right here at 887, then your TP on a 1 to 2 would be at the midnight open at 850, 851. Let's see, a 1 to 3 would get you down to 50% of the breaker. A 1 to 3 trade. Shark Trend, crypto is having a good time in Las Vegas, I believe. Yeah, this previous day high. If it keeps respecting the previous day high and pushing lower, then yeah, you definitely you want to look short. Because the previous day high would be a key level, and so that would be a level that price is finding resistance and finding orders. KB, I think she was saying something about Carnival one of these years. This year, obviously, is too it was too close to reach, but maybe next year she'll join you. Yeah, so it was too close to plan this year, but maybe next year she'll join you. I know she was talking about it, being excited about going to Carnival. All right, so now we hit the macro period just before lunch. Go ahead and shift this over to where it shuts off at. Claire Huxtable's in town. Does she have Trinidad heritage? Okay. That should be nice. Yeah, my brother, he just went to, he's in Rio for the week, doing the exact same thing, enjoying Carnival. All right, look at like price is sitting right at the previous day high. I'm trying to decide whether it's going to cross over or reject from that level. Let's see. All right, so we got all sell in action this hour, dollar and indices. let's get in here and take a peek just before we conclude today. Let's just look and see where we are. I'm gonna measure this. Okay, so we've gotten 38% back down. To get to 50%, we need to break through the fair value gap. If we take it from wick to wick, yeah, we got even further to go. So, but we can see if we've been selling in all three for the hour. The strongest of the three is Nasdaq, with clearly the weakest of the three being the Dow, and S&P just kind of sitting in the middle. One thing to notice with the Dow, right? Swept highs and then swept lows. For Nasdaq, swept lows, then swept highs. And then the S&P did not sweep lows, did not sweep highs. So we got differences in price action today for the three indices. So that could explain what we're looking at and what we see. So yeah, let's just be careful. Wait for this FOMC member to speak in another 6 minutes. And then when he's done with all that, we got bond 30-year bond prices being announced at 1 o'clock, and then we'll look sometime after 1 o'clock, 1:15, 1:30, somewhere in there, and we'll start looking for a setup. And hopefully the afternoon price action is much better than we got yesterday in the afternoon. But with that being said, we about another 5 minutes in our morning session. So any final questions or any comments, go ahead and throw that in the chat. If you have not already liked the video, go ahead and do so. Let's make sure that we get as many likes as possible. See if we can't get the numbers up for the afternoon session. And if you're brand new and you just discovered us this morning for the third time, welcome. But yeah, go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you make sure you get invited to all the future live streams, whether we do a surprise weekend session or we switch the hours or anything. You want to make sure you're up to date on how we're moving. So let's go ahead and do that if you haven't done so already. All right, so we got a trade above, a close above, 2 or 3 candles, and let's see if it can hold or if it's just a fake out and it's going to trade below again. If you're in a long, you should be at break even. So decide, how you like your trade, whether you feel good about it or not. If you're in a short, you're in a small bit of drawdown now. Oh, thank you, Jay. I appreciate you. Thanks for coming. Cool, calm, collected. All right, Mardi Gras, New Orleans. I didn't realize you were from New Orleans, but yeah, I haven't been to Mardi Gras since I was a kid, but it used to be so much fun. I can only imagine how much fun it is as an adult, or how much trouble you can get into. Yep, Jay. Hopefully, I'll see you on a future live stream. So hopefully, you come back. All right, let's go ahead and stretch it out a little more, make it a little larger. See the two overlapping bullish trade ideas. So these 1 to 2 trades, depending on where you entered, exits are at 904 and at 907. That would represent all-time highs if price was able to get there. So understand what that risk is. Make sure you shift your stop loss accordingly. Anyone who took this short, the way I have it marked up with a 12-point stop loss, you would have been stopped out by now. If your stop loss was above this swing high, then you're still in, but otherwise you would have been stopped out. Let me cycle through the time frame. Let me just see if there's anything, if there's another time frame where you could still be in the trade, and it has a different take profit. Let me see. There we go. All right, so this trade idea on the 4-minute represents the largest TP. It has a rather large stop loss as well. All right, DB, welcome in, welcome in. We're getting ready to to jump off, but good to have you in. We'll be back in an hour. So everyone, that concludes our session this morning. Again, thank you all for joining. Thanks for being here. Thanks for the energy you brought. And we're going to take a break for an hour. We have already an invitation out for the 1300 afternoon session. So go ahead and check that out. Make sure that you're available. For those who can make it, I'll talk to you in an hour. For everyone who can't, we'll catch up on a future session, hopefully tomorrow morning at 9:15. So see you then. Cheers, everyone. Thank you.